So, I completed my PhD in 2023 and it took me 6 years to complete. During that time, I experienced many unexpected things that I wish people would have warned me about beforehand. These are the things I'll be sharing with you in this video. These are the worst things that almost all PhD students experience. Starting off at number 1, being over 30 years old still carrying a backpack around wherever you go. No matter how much swagger you think you have, nothing says you write student under occupation like carrying around your JanSport backpack everywhere you go because you'll be needing your laptop, USB drives, and maybe other reading material. If you thought that once you reached 30 years of age, you'd be that beacon of attractiveness glowing with confidence, think again. Your backpack lets everyone know you're still just a student. Number 2, being 6 years into your supposed 4-year degree. Whenever people advertise a PhD program, they say it can be completed in 4 years, some as early as 3 years. If your PhD program is located in the US or Asia, most PhD programs worth doing will take an average of 5 to 7 years to complete. But you don't realize this until you're already 3 years in and still nowhere near graduating. Then you have to face the dilemma between cutting your losses and submitting to the sunk cost fallacy. Number 3. People expect you to be an expert in everything, including things unrelated to your field of study. Personally, I'm a neuroscientist. In my case, extended family members ask me questions about diagnosing their rare health conditions that have nothing to do with the brain. I'm talking about weird rashes, digestion problems, things like that. I mean, I'm flattered people trust me with their personal information, but I'm neither qualified nor interested in playing pretend medical doctor. Number 4. Everyone's saying you're smart, but no one listening to you. I don't want to come off as arrogant, especially after what I just said for number 3, but when you're in a PhD program, you're surrounded by professors and graduate students. Now, apart from graduate school itself not being among the brightest of ideas, most of the people around you should theoretically be in the top echelon of intelligence. Granted, this isn't always the case, but I digress. Family members will often brag about how intelligent you are. Parents will often wear your academic achievements like a badge of honor, as they should. However, those same people who sing your praises will often be the first to dismiss your advice on topics you're actually an expert in. Number 5. Working evenings, weekends, and holidays. There's a popular academic joke about people choosing academia over an industry job because they don't want to work a 9 to 5. So instead, now they find themselves working 24/7. The best analogy to explain the flexibility of the academic work schedule is that you have to work 18 hours per day, but you get to choose which 18 hours. If you work in a lab, keep in mind, mice and cells need to be maintained and they don't take vacations just because you want to. Get used to working almost all day, almost every day. Number 6. Working hard and smart and still getting paid less than most fast food employees. Most PhD programs pay students in the form of a stipend, and unless you're working for some of the best schools in the country, chances are your pay will be borderline insulting considering the amount of work expected of you. Yes, technically you are a student, and a PhD program should be treated as a kind of apprenticeship. But let's call it what it really is. You work like a slave, hopefully learn some valuable skills along the way, and at the end, if you complete it, you can call yourself a doctor. Because the truth is, no one else will. Number 7. Watching all of your non-academic friends get married and have kids. This is a serious one, especially for all the young ladies out there. Earning a PhD comes with a lot of financial and age-related opportunity costs that will require you to give up some of the best years of your life with no guarantee of graduation nor a successful career afterwards. Meanwhile, we see our friends buying houses and starting families. Then we finally graduate realizing the whole point of the degree was to make it easier to do the things that our friends just accomplished without one. I mean, it varies from person to person, but a lot of PhD students feel this way. Number 8. Realizing that your future is more in the hands of your professor than in your own. This is a bitter pill to swallow. One of the biggest factors of when you'll be able to graduate or what project you'll be working on during your PhD comes down to what your professor wants. It's their funding, so it's their rules. I've had many PhD friends come up with great research ideas and even publish numerous papers, but be held back from graduation simply because their professors wanted to get more out of them. It was like those professors were holding the PhD degrees hostage until the students had nothing left to give. Some of these friends even quit before graduation. Number 9. Realizing your career prospects won't change by much after graduation. I mean, one of the most common career paths after PhD is entering a postdoc program, which is basically just more school with slightly longer hours and slightly more pay. The benefit of a postdoc position is that you have the freedom to quit without losing your degree. Not too many jobs require a PhD degree, and those that do typically require half a decade of additional experience and don't offer much more pay than jobs that only require a master's degree. Just something to think about. And lastly, number 10. Learning that book smarts aren't nearly as valuable as street smarts. And you've got book smarts. If you had street smarts, chances are you wouldn't be doing a PhD. In all seriousness, PhDs aren't as valuable as they once were. Many electricians and plumbers earn significantly more than PhDs even in STEM fields. If the goal is money, a PhD is likely not the best option. If you decide to do a PhD, do it because research is something you truly enjoy and want to become an expert in. I know most of this video just sounds like ranting about how bad PhD life is, but this video is meant to only focus on the bad aspects. PhD life also has many unique positive qualities that gave me some of the best experiences of my life. I plan to create another video in the near future talking about the positive aspects of PhD life. If you're interested in seeing that, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.